What's up guys, welcome to the channel. It's Sunday, which means it's time for a market update. We're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum and Gold as usual. If you guys would like to see other altcoins, other assets, let me know in the comments and we'll do that in the next market update. Like and subscribe as always, I really appreciate it. It takes literally 1 second. And let's get into the video. Let's start with Bitcoin, and I want to show something here because obviously I looked at the charts. And last Sunday we were here. We were really in an uptrend. I don't really remember much of the last market update though, so sorry about that what I said. But yeah, we were up 5% in a week and we were here. We were on the verge of making new highs. Of course, we still had some time to go, but I remember on Ethereum we were already, compared to Bitcoin, like very high in the range. Now, yes, we dumped a lot this week. This week was just Monday, sharp dump, and then just an almost perfect downtrend, as you can see. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, blah blah blah. But if you zoom out on the 4 hour, it doesn't look that bad. Yes, we dumped. I mean, that's a fact. We dumped down. But you see in this range, you can dump and you're back in a couple of days, and you dump again, you're back. So there's nothing to worry about. So surely if you worry about what's going on locally, there's nothing to worry about. But the reality on the other hand is that yes, we dumped this week. And yes, we sweep something here, that was the sweep, some level there, and we show the reaction. Now it will be important to have a follow-up. I've mentioned before, last week I maybe used that word a little less, but I remember there was a time I used it every week. We need to see a follow-up, because there's nothing going on Bitcoin, it's not panic time, but we have to see a reaction. We have to go back to the 64,000 next week. As I just explained on the 4 hour, we're bouncing. One day we can be the 64,000, then back to the 62, then 65. That's what we need to see. We have something to retest here. Gain hold. We have this hold, though we haven't made new highs yet. So perfect would be that we make a new high first. So the price makes a new high higher than this, then comes back to this hold and then gives a move. That would be the perfect scenario, not only to take a trade, but also just for healthy price action. So yeah, that's what I expect personally price to do. Even though they're not going to pump to the 70,000, I at least expect price to show reaction here and at least look for these zones. And then of course, if price doesn't want to gain, if there are more sell orders than buy orders, then we're going to see new lows. But I expect at least to see price sweep and show at least some sort of reaction. If you zoom out again a little bit, let me remove this dot. And we can see that we're in this big range. I'd say from the 61,000 to the 67,000. If you zoom out, you can use this as an entire range, because this we're mid-range. So that means that we have 2 levels here and 1 big zone here. So if you look at the downside, yes, we could potentially go to the 60,000 in the coming days, weeks. That's surely possible, but that still shouldn't be any panic, because if you zoom out on the daily even, yes, we did not make a new high. That bothers me, and that's not good. On the other hand, we're seeing still nice structure, because yeah, we tried here, we sweep something, we tried, we failed, made a new low, and then we started gaining aggressively. Of course, did not make a new high as set, but then we have something to pull back on, and make new highs. So yes, it's surely something long term. It's summer, as you see, they dumped in June, and since then we're just stuck in a range. It's summer, so don't expect crazy things. Don't expect price to dump to 55k next week or bump to 70k. But we're mid-range, which means everything can happen. We can just slowly gain to the 70,000. We can go back here. Everything can happen. That's just what I want to show even on the daily. We're mid-range. You shouldn't worry that we dump from 65k back to 62k. Yes, I know, what is it like? 5%, as showed earlier, 4% on Bitcoin, on crypto. That's nothing to worry about. For trading opportunities, you can do everything. It just depends what your strategy is and what your bias tells you, because I would look for longs in this zone here. So if price drops to the $61,000, and then you have these levels. You can look for shorts, but also continuation longs. Depends what price is doing. If price starts on a Monday with sweeping this and doing this, and I'm not going to blindly short at this level. I'm going to wait for confirmation. So yeah, you have to look what price is doing locally, and just can't just say, oh, limit something in here, limit something in there, limit something in here. That's not going to work. And Ethereum is basically the same thing. As mentioned, Ethereum did make a new high compared to this shit high. They did make a new high, and compared to Bitcoin, as mentioned, they were trying to at least sweep the failure or look for the failure of this high. Now they're still high range. If you zoom out on the 4 hour, you see that Ethereum is still a lot higher than Bitcoin. First time this range since start of June, maybe even August. It's the first time in a while that I see Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin, which is good for Ethereum, of course. If we zoom in, we saw this week also the dump, same dump as on Bitcoin. If it happens on Bitcoin, Ethereum will follow. But then they showed a strong reaction, swept something, gave a strong reaction with this. Unfortunately, couldn't really sweep something important, which kind of bothers me. Would have been better if they sweep this, then made a low. But now this is still open. So price goes here, they will show a reaction here. That way it would have been better if they swept it already here. Then if they started gaining, they could just maybe push straight through it. But it's okay, it's fine. I would surely look for a long here, maybe not just limited in, but look for confirmation locally. So if you sweep it, gain, and then on the hold, look for a long. If we look even more down, we see that this 1800 level is still open, and it's very interesting to me. And then of course you have tons of other levels, way more than on Bitcoin, because as mentioned we're high in the range. But Ethereum, same thing. I would not look for a short here because, yeah, we're mid-range. Locally, of course, not if you look at everything, but just on these minor levels, these are not the same levels that these are, or these boxes are, so you shouldn't treat them as, oh, this is the bottom or the top. These are still mid-range, but still points where a reversal could happen, of course. So a long, yeah, possible with confirmation. I wouldn't short here, to be honest. It could also be the price as this and just start ranging around this. Surely possible, because as mentioned, this is not the most crucial level in the chart. And I think, yeah, next week will be important for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I don't think, like sometimes I say, it's crucial week or it's do or die. I don't think it's there yet. We first need to see what price is actually doing, because yeah, oh we're back, oh no we're done, oh we're back, oh no we don't. There's so many emotions and feelings from retail traders that nobody really knows what's going on. So first, price needs to show clear direction, and then we can talk about, okay, now this week will be very important, because if you don't switch from trend to make new lows or whatever, because right now I can't really predict what's going to happen next week, and I also don't need to predict. I'm trading based on what I see locally. If price does this, then I do that. If then, that's what you need to know. If we look at gold continued to pump. It was not as crazy as we saw this pump last week, but still from Monday they still made new highs, which is good. If you zoom out on gold, they're doing well, to be honest. I mentioned it before, I didn't expect gold to do this. I'm still waiting for this zone. Sorry that I've said that in like 5 market updates in a row. But gold is pumping. Even if you look to the daily, we were or still are in a crazy downtrend, and price is now moving against the trend for the first time. Of course we saw this, but that's just a basic reaction, because yeah, this dump, you sweep so deep, of course you're going to get a reaction. But now we didn't really sweep something, we just accumulated, and now we're noticing a strong pump. Now, is the downtrend over? Do I expect gold to make new all-time highs, go to 5,000? No. I still expect price to just sweep something here. It can go here even and then just make new highs. I don't expect this is the pullback to continue the massive uptrend we saw the previous years. No, I don't expect that to happen, but I also don't need to stay in my vision and be open-minded and say, no, just whatever price is doing, we're going back to this zone. No, price can surely show nice things, but the first level to gain is this one. Of course, we already gained certain levels here, which is important, but if you look to the daily, this is for me a very important zone. This zone, yes, you can argue this is your move to low, so that's the most important, which is true. But if you zoom out a little bit, I'd say these levels, not one in particular, but this zone, for example, is very important. If we next week end up here, that's a strong indication that gold wants to gain, and there's room for more, more gains on gold. And yeah, something that I would like to see on gold, if you look for more upside potential, is this pullback here, new highs. Short here is possible, but I would do it with confirmation as always, because the local trend is up. Gold pump 2 weeks 10%, that's not nothing. On Bitcoin it might be okay, but on gold that's something pretty significant. So I wouldn't just blindly short, but surely keep an eye on these levels, because shorts are possible. For now I would expect something to happen like this, or they can still sweep this. I wouldn't be surprised if price dumps, then still there's an opportunity here. You don't need to think, oh, we lost this level, okay, we're going to this box. It's a bit more nuanced than that. But gold is looking good. It's giving room to breathe. It's giving room to make new highs potentially. So gold is looking very well. I think this is also something investors or people who are looking at gold wanted to see an end to this, slowly railing downtrend, and to see some improvement. Okay, most people are smart enough to understand that this doesn't mean the bottom is in, but this is of course good and healthy price action, because you want to create levels. Even if we start dumping right now, we made a local new high here, which is good, and then we have a failure here to gain. So everything gold is doing right now is good, whether you want gold to make new highs, gold to make new lows. Everything happening on gold is good right now. But I think everything has been said. Bitcoin, Ethereum dumped, yes, but nothing to worry about. Gold is pumping, but we need to see a follow-up. There's my word again. We need to see a follow-up next week, because this can just be a retest and then make new lows, because we haven't really gained significant levels. But for now, that was it. I hope it was a valuable market update. Wednesday there will be a new video on the channel, so make sure to check that out. Subscribe with the bell on so you get notifications. Surely a very good video if you're a beginner, but if you're more advanced as well. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in that video. Bye.